everybody out there. My name is Gerald Peplow. I'm about 60 years old. I will be 60 in this month. Really, really cool. That means I got to do a lot of things. I've been very lucky. I got to have sharks. I had to go shipwreck diving. I've been all over Europe. I even speak Mandarin. Ni hao. So what I want to do is going to take you along with some of the trips that I've done. One of the funnest ones I've done was diving with sea lions in Santa Barbara, in the water off Santa Barbara Island, right along the coast of California. And I just want to show you what that's about and how cool that was. Okay, so the very first thing you know is that sea lions need to know that they're pinnipeds. Pinnipeds are the transitional animal between being whales and being land animals like elephants and stuff like that. They're sleek, they're fast, and at this point, they're fun because these guys are juveniles. Okay, so as we go along here, let's just keep in mind that these are wild animals, but they're teenagers and they're finding a place to play. All right, and we found a place to play with them. All right, so now this is the Earth, inside how the Earth plates moved. So if you look around here, you see that California, the west coast, was formed with all this tectonic power when the sea plates moved. Now, if you look closely, you'll see the crinkled areas and everything else. There's not much on Santa Barbara Island, no trees, nothing to speak of. There are wild animals out there. Some of them have foxes out there in the Channel Islands. But this is the Channel Islands area. Okay, so this is where Santa Barbara is. I have it sort of twisted there, but I wanted to show you this. If you look, Santa Barbara moved up like this from San Diego, and that happened when the plates moved. It also made the little rocks that are now our Channel Islands. Okay, so now we're taking a fly into Santa Barbara, and now we're going to look at the area, and basically we're going to look at the place called the Rookery. Now, a rookery is a place where these animals go to have their babies, where they're safe from these guys. Okay? So why are they important? Well, there's a lot of things that want to eat you in the ocean. Sharks, killer whales, and it's very, very dangerous for these animals. And so they're trying to find a place where they can have shallow water so sharks and other animals can't sneak up on them. Okay? It's also a place where there's food close by. Now we're going to fly into San Simeon here. So in San Simeon, if you'll notice, the coast is nice and smooth. But there's a bay right there. You see that bay? That bay protects from waves, but it also gives shallow water. So the animals come up on shore. These are sea lions, though. I mean, these are not sea lions. These are elephant seals. These elephant seals come up on shore and have their babies. Now, sea lions and sea elephants, they're not the same animal, but they have the same characteristics when they come on shore and they have their rookery. And that's what we're looking at. So you can see this bay. This is a place where the sea lions come. The sea elephants come to have their babies. Okay, they're so cute. Now, the guys set up their territory. They fight for it. They do their thing. And then the girls go out and they decide who they want to be with. Now, they don't want some jerk out there. So they go out and they find someone who's strong and calm. And then they settle in. And when they settle in, of course, that's when they have their babies. And so they're just hanging on the beach here. What's up, girl? And the guys are going like, yeah, go ahead. Go have your party. Cute babies, though. Really, really cute. All right. Now, again, this is how big they can get. This is my wife in Berlin next to a sea elephant that was hunted. Tremendously large these animals are. Okay. Now, the reason why we have rookeries is these guys here. I was diving off the coast of Catalina, and these blue sharks were there. Now, these are deep water sharks, right? So if you go to a place where there's deep water, you can run into sharks. Now, one of the most dangerous sharks we have here is our flying sharks of California off the coast, the great whites. They come from below and then boom, right over the top, and then they can grab whoever they want. So see, this is one of the guys. So cute. I drew him a long, long time ago. Big sharks out there, and we can prove it. Because if you look right down there, there is a sea lion or the seal's head. That's all that's left is some shark decided, yo, I want to eat. Okay, so we were just doing our thing, and we saw this obviously was attacked by a shark. And it's pretty scary thinking swimming out there. Here we are at San Simeon. There's a creek that comes in here bringing fresh water. It meets right here, and that calls this an estuary. This is a nice place for animals to have their babies, and then they're able to grow. One of the things we found out here that you already saw, I showed you on the beach, was a seal head. And the seal was eaten by a shark or something, because that was really quite a bite. All that, the head was the only thing left. Marty Snyderman said, it's a big bad ocean out there, and it doesn't care about you in the least. It's sort of scary to think about that. And I've done some scary things out there. Not on purpose, of course, not on purpose. All right, so here we are. We're at the Rookery again, and this is part of the area where their kelp forest is. Now, the kelp forest is very important because all the animals come to the kelp forest to have their babies, like fish and invertebrates. And this gives a good hunting place and a place of safety for the sea lions. And this is my wife getting ready to go dive. Woohoo! Let's go! All right, so we hop in the water. That's her hopping in. There we go. All right, so now we find ourselves in the kelp forest. Okay, now let's talk about kelp. Kelp is a very special plant. It's not really even a vascular plant. It's a type of algae and has holdfasts that grab the bottom, and they hold onto rocks. Kelp cannot grow in sand. So it grabs the rocks, and as it grabs the rocks, it starts to grow from there, from a holdfast. And it can grow up to like a foot a day, up to 100 feet. Now, if you're a diver and you're not used to it, it can be pretty scary. But if you know what you're doing, take your time, and if you get stuck, just get yourself out slowly, then there's no problem. But it's so beautiful and peaceful. Oh, on this day it was peaceful. So these animals are now finding a place to live. Here's some sardines that are just hiding in the kelp, swimming along. Here's some jack mackerel. There's a lot of jack mackerel out there. This is probably one of the main foods that sea lions have. That's why they move so fast. They have to catch them. Here's a sea star that's at the bottom eating algae. Well, it doesn't eat algae. It eats animals. But it's looking for a food and breaking animals and pulling them in. This is a Garibaldi. Garibaldi is the state fish, and very, very beautiful and aggressive. They're not scared of you in the least. It's amazing. I think it's weird. Okay, so here's a Norse top shell. It's a type of snail. But on these here, you can see the bulbs. These bulbs are called bladders. They help the kelp to float. Now here is a sea cucumber. The sea cucumber is just like a snail on land, except for it can throw its guts out. It can throw its stomach out and scare predators. And here in the kelp forest, we can see a senorita wrasse, and it's giving a preening, or it's taking parasites off these blacksmiths. But as we're down there, this guy shows up. Absolutely beautiful, a young sea lion, just a juvenile sea lion, and so very, very curious. One thing that's cool is my camera is like a mirror to them. So even though it looks like he's paying attention to me, probably looking in the mirror saying, boy, I'm a good looker. Look at me. Sup? Sup? Suave. Rico suave. So very interested in what's going on. And now he's going to move over to my wife. Now my wife is over there taking pictures with just a simple little camera. The one I got that cool picture with. Then after that, we went out and we swam in the open with them. Now again, these guys are not scared of us. They're practicing their maneuvers to live, but they still have not encountered like great whites, killer whales, and all the things that are dangerous. So if you watch them, you'll see they're still very interested. Now, if you look at this guy close, you'll see he has ears. The difference between a sea lion and a seal is that these guys have external ears. They're also very sleek, and their flippers are very, 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 very long. But you can see they're playing with each other, and this is all behavior that teaches them to survive in the wild, catching food or staying away from predators. Now, if you look here, this guy is very interested in he's saying, whoa, that's me? Wow, I am a looker. Okay, so the thing that's cool about these guys too is they can go down to 300 feet. While they're down there, they hold their breath, but they restrict exchange of oxygen or the exchange of air back and forth through the bloodstream, which means they don't pick up that carbon load. Look how fast they're moving. Since they don't pick up that carbon load, they don't easily get the bends, even though it can't catch up with them. Eventually they have to take a break and then they can go back down. But look how fast these guys are. I was amazed at how agile they are. And of course, you have to be agile to catch fish. You have to be agile to get away from a big old great white shark. Okay, so you can see them dancing around. They're giving us this seal show. Really, really cool, huh? Now these guys they're born on land, then mom leaves after about 10 days, and then they take care of themselves. Well, sort of. Oh, gotta tell you about this. Okay, so we were playing with juveniles earlier, right? And so I decided to go out, and we went to another location, and we met these guys. And so I started playing with them and jerking myself around, all that kind of thing, playing with them. And they responded. But because they're older, and because of my behavior probably, they became a little bit aggressive. And they were giving me this message, you know what, you're just not welcome here. Now, he could have bit me if he wanted to, but he didn't. And I'm very happy about that. I would not want to be bitten by one of these guys. Compare it to like having a Great Dane come at you. All right, so after the dive, we slowly went to the surface and made sure that we didn't get the bends, dumped all the carbon dioxide from our bodies and stuff like that, and slowly came up. Now, when you slowly come up like this, that means that you have control of your buoyancy. And this is the dive boat that we were on. Okay, so that was our adventure with sea lions. You got a chance to see how Santa Barbara was formed. You got to see kelp and how important it is, and you got to see sea lions doing their thing with divers. So what I'm going to invite you to do is find yourself a chance to do something like this. And yes, you can do this too, because all these places out here, all these dive boats, take people out. I want to thank you for joining me, and take care of yourselves. Have a good day.